What's up guys, my name is Marcel, welcome to One Dapper Street. In today's video I want to spend some time talking about one of my favorite sneaker brands, and that's Converse. Likely to be one of your favorite sneaker brands as well. I think we all know that you can wear Converse in the summer and spring very easily, but with these 6 looks and the 3 pairs of shoes that I have down here, I want to talk about how you can rock, in a stylish way, Converse year-round without putting your feet at risk. The 3 silhouettes we'll be talking about is number 1, the classic Chucks in a leather version. We're gonna talk about a couple of options for these. Then we've got the high top pro leather sneakers, which I recently got. I absolutely love these. They only come in like 2 different colorways. This is the tan colorway. So I'm really excited to show you how I would wear these. And lastly, probably to date, my favorite Converse are the Converse boots. We're gonna start off talking about those, so let's not waste any time and talk about look number 1. The first outfit I've got for you is fairly well fitted for a colder day. We're kind of moving towards warmer temperatures as we go through the rack, but with this you can see I started to look off with this Uniqlo seamless puffer jacket, which I really love. It's a beautiful olive color. Underneath, another piece from Uniqlo, a simple long sleeve. I think it's a waffle knit. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a waffle knit long sleeve. On my lower half, I'm wearing a pair of beautiful Bordeaux Dockers pants. Dockers, you may not know that they have such really nice slim fitting silhouettes in their entire lineup, but they do, and these are one of my favorite pants in my closet when it comes to 5-pocket pants. And lastly, we have the Converse boot. The Converse boot actually has some purple specks in the laces, which makes it really well compatible with these Bordeaux chinos, and that's the reason I decided to combine them in the first place. I think the green, I was a little hesitant to combine that with the Bordeaux because I feel like sometimes they can be clashing, but in this case it works for me. The shoes I love for several reasons. Number 1, they're really nice and slim fitting, like your classic Converse. A nice and slim silhouette, I think, is just really important to continue a nice taper of your pant legs. And the fact that they're on an elevated sole not only gives you increased comfort, which these are incredibly comfortable, they also kind of keep you away from all the wet and cold and dirt on the ground a little bit further. And then overall, the leather on them is a really nice choice. They're nice and soft enough for comfort, but still offer a nice level of support. So that's look number 1. Let's look at how we can also style these boots in a very different way. Look number 2, as you can see, is a lot more dressed up. We've got suit pants from Canali, we've got a medium brown turtleneck from H&M, and on top of that we've got an H&M overcoat in a camel color. Like I said, we're still on the colder scale of the spectrum with this look, but the point is that these Converse boots hold up the same versatility that you see in your regular Converse Chucks. I really love these boots exactly for that reason. I think Converse are one of the most easiest, good English right there, Marcel. One of the easiest shoes to just throw on to any outfit and make it look really stylish. But yes, it gets cold outside, it gets wet outside, and that canvas high top is just not gonna hold up. These boots offer a lot more warmth, a lot more support, a lot more comfort also. And they come in this brown color, which I think worked really well for this outfit. They also come in a black leather color, and I actually got these last year. So I can, 1, speak to the quality of the shoe because I've worn them literally for an entire year. But 2, I can also tell you that people seem to really like these because Converse actually brought them back this fall winter season for 2019, now 2020. Obviously. So I wanted to really make this video for you guys to give you more of a scope of what Converse has to offer. And by the way, this is not sponsored at all by Converse. Hopefully one day, but this is not. I just love the brand, so I wanted to teach you guys a little bit more about it. And I think they have a couple really cool silhouettes, one of which we'll explore further, and another couple that I'll mention that I just think people don't necessarily know about. So I'm hoping that I'm shedding some light and some unknown things for you guys in today's video. And this is look number 2. Let's take a look at the next pair of shoes. I have been in love with the black leather Converse since I was 13. I did not own a pair of Chucks. I wanted only these, so I saved up from my Subway sandwich making money and I went into Foot Locker and I bought them. These are not the same ones. No, I wore those way too much and wore them out. But I bought them again, and you can see these are pretty worn out as well because these are one of my favorite shoes just ever. Now that I'm done raving about how much I love these shoes, let's talk about why they work more on a year-round basis. And that's simply because of the leather. I've worn these out in the rain, and no, these aren't waterproof, not even necessarily weatherproof, but they're not canvas. So even as it rains, the water's not actively seeping into your foot, which is obviously a big plus. Why am I bringing these up in the first place then is because these are the closest to the original Converse that I think you can wear year round. You can also make them a little bit more weather appropriate by wearing thick socks, and that's honestly just the biggest tip in the winter if you want to keep your feet warm. Get some heat tech socks at Uniqlo or something like that to really just insulate the shoe a little bit more. But of course, there's a few other options if you want to stick close to the original Converse aesthetic while also having a shoe that's a little bit more weather appropriate. There's a few options here. Number one, there's a waterproof Converse that I actually wanted to include in today's video, but the shipping time frame just didn't work out. So here's a little screen recording. They come in a tan color and in a black color, and I think they're really nice. I would love to have tried them out with the neoprene sock. It looks really cool, it looks comfortable, and obviously it's effective. And then if you want a chuck that's, again, similar to the original aesthetic, but that's really appropriate for cold winter, then you also have the shielding Converse as an option. So I wanted to point these out just for the sake of the original Converse aesthetic. But let's talk about the look. I'm wearing a pair of skinny black jeans from Mango. Up top, I'm wearing this Hero Clark Los Angeles hoodie. It just says upside down, flipped around, because it's fun. And then I'm wearing a John Elliott bomber jacket up top in a Bordeaux color. It's like a nice little pop. Otherwise you see it's mostly black and white. And even the t-shirt that's not peeking out right now, that should be peeking out, is a play on the shoes. So we have the black and white combination, black and white here, the white hanging out, kind of mimicking the sole of the shoe, and then back to the black with the jeans. For an overall, I think, really nice, relaxed look. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing too crazy, where we have an achromatic base and we use the bomber as a nice pop of color. For look number 4, we have an entirely achromatic look, meaning lacking color from top to bottom. We got a black leather jacket from Coach, a wool sweater from Brooks Brothers, then we've got these All Saints cigarette fit jeans in like a, almost like an acid washy type look, and the black leather Converse once again. Obviously an achromatic, monochromatic look with these leather chucks is very easy to pull off, and a leather jacket always goes really well with that. Wearing a wool sweater underneath gives you a little bit more warmth, so this is actually a really nice look to wear on a colder day. Throw on a scarf, a beanie, some gloves if you need to, and you're actually ready to go out. Again, this doesn't mean that your look is entirely weatherproof, but it is more weather appropriate. And lastly, before we move on from these shoes, I do need to talk about the 70s Converse, which you guys have pointed out to me a bunch of different times. I have yet to buy myself a pair, so stay tuned because there is a Converse lookbook coming a little bit later into the spring, and I'm gonna include some 70s, which obviously are set to be a lot more comfortable. I kind of want to put that to the test, and I want to see if those shoes are as versatile as I always saw the Chucks be. So that's gonna be the big test for them. That's the last thing I wanted to mention. Let's move on to a very different silhouette of the Converse. For look number 5, we're looking at the Pro Leather Converse, and they're different than the original Converse in a couple of ways. Primarily the shape, the overall silhouette, as well as the robustness of the shoe. These are a lot more like the Nike Blazers, and they actually feel so much more rigid. I feel like I have to wear them in a little bit more, but they do feel comfortable. Like, it's not in an uncomfortable way. They just feel like they need to be broken in proper, and then they're really gonna keep your feet nice and wrapped up. Now, these are a light tan color and they actually have some suede on them. So is this a shoe that anybody would recommend? You're like, oh, when it's wet outside, you should probably wear these? Probably not. But at the same time, the suede on these is pretty rough, and I think one of the things I love, because I'm a bit lazy, is that you can wear your Chucks and kind of beat them up and it almost makes them look a little bit cooler. The same goes for these, I think, to a certain extent. So even if it does get a little bit more distressed, I think that's completely fine for these sneakers, and I used to be a big fan of the Nike Blazers, so I actually really like the silhouette. You've got a nice gum sole on the bottom, so you know that you're definitely keeping the water out. And let's talk about the look, starting with this Parisian jacket from Homecore. It says here now. It's a very mindful jacket. I actually copped this at my friend's store that's just around the block from here on sale, so I really like this. Never heard of the brand before. It's almost got like a military jacket type front, and then it's kind of more like a bomber jacket towards the back. Underneath, I'm wearing an Urban Outfitters waffle tee long sleeve shirt, and on my legs, I'm wearing a pair of Essential cargo pants that actually just restocked. I'm hoping that once this video is live, that's still accurate. So links for all the pieces to shop are down below for you guys as always. For an overall nice and tan color combination, and then finishing up the look with just a little bit navy on top. With the last look, we've got a more casual iteration of the Canadian tuxedo, meaning denim on denim, Club Monaco raw jeans, and a Uniqlo denim jacket. More on the casual side because of this hoodie that I'm wearing underneath from John Elliott, a boucle hoodie in a tan color. Really like this piece. Has a nice zipper detail on both of the sides right here, and obviously goes well in terms of color with the shoes on my feet. Speaking of color, they do come in another variation. They come in a more red leather combination, but it's kind of like a faded. It's best if you just check it out online because it's a little bit hard to describe. What I love about the Pro Leather is that even though they're a bit more robust and a bit more bulky, they still allow themselves to be worn in a setting like this where everything's pretty slim, and I'm even rolling up the pants so you can kind of see where the shoe comes in, but in a way that it's not like, oh, think of like the Air Force Ones. If I wore this look with a pair of Air Force Ones, it would just kind of look too bulky in the foot, and I think that's something we want to avoid, and that's why I like these. You also notice that we're overall getting a little bit lighter now that we're getting into, say, the warmer spring days of this fictional timeline that I'm kind of making up as I'm going, but you get the point. And thus we have the last look of a nice denim and tan combination. With that, we wrap up today's video. I hope I could show you guys a little bit, for one, different silhouettes of Converse, but even how you can take the classic Converse silhouette and make it a little bit more year-round appropriate, because I think it's a great brand. They offer a great value, so I wanted to dedicate today's video to that. If you did enjoy it, make sure to click that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to change that, because there is a spring lookbook coming for Converse outfit inspiration, and it may be with one of your other favorite YouTubers. I'm not gonna tell you who just yet. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you soon with the next video. Until then, as always, stay dapper.